is praying in this verse. He says, God, to open our eyes and enlighten our understanding. Problem that we have is that we do not understand who we serve.
Come on. Yeah.
We heard of him. We hear about him, but we really don't know him. Just stick with me. So we will know, when you have that understanding, you'll understand why he called you here. And the problem is, some of you will still go, what is my purpose? Why did you call me here? Why? Because you still don't have the knowledge and understanding of who called you. Stick with me. I believe that knowledge of him is limited power. You have unlimited power when that revelation comes to you. And the same thing with worship. How can you have worship when you don't have a revelation? All we're doing is following the words, but nothing is really coming out. This is why some people connect, and some people speak in tongues, and some people throw themselves on the floor. Why? Because they're connected. And then they have that revelation of, they understand who they're worshiping. They understand who they're putting their words into. They understand who they're letting their emotions to. But not everybody has that revelation yet. That's why when Jesus stood with Pilate, he says, you ain't got no power, except it was given to you from above. Jesus understood divine power that was different from the power that was here. Even Pilate stepped into the plan of God. Why? Because he wound up going to the cross. Jesus understood that the divine power was to fulfill the will of God. Now, the enemy of this world may try to use its power, but if you have an understanding of him, you will never have to worry. Amen. When you understand the God that you serve, you don't worry, you don't fear, you don't doubt, you just walk. You trust him. Why? Because you have a relationship. The problem with people is that they worry, they fear, and they doubt because they disconnect. If you don't have intimacy with God, if you're not consistent with your worship, if you're not consistent with your relationship, you are going to disconnect and go back to your default. It's like getting a computer. When things mess up, it has a feature that you go back to the default that the factory sent it to you. And this is what we do. We go back to the default, and then we got to start all over again. My God. Anybody with me? Amen. I feel that we need to get a revelation and knowledge of who he really is, just like Paul said, so that we can know him better. Look at your neighbor and tell him you need to know him better. You need to know him better. Psalms 95:6 says, oh, come, let us worship and bow down. Let us kneel before. It's amazing during worship, Pastor, how many people won't throw themselves on the floor. Because you're worried about your outfit. Let me go to that. We're worried. I don't want to sweat. I just got pretty. I did my hair. I got my suit on. I don't want to sweat. Let me tell you something. If you